makes your day.
Hey, out of the way. Get up, kid. They got into a fight. 11-10. Hopefully that context gave you some context. But this is a real fight. And this is some good stuff here from both sides. I am on both sides right now because Whitney is telling Tim what he needs to hear. And Tim is telling Whitney what he needs to hear. You know whose side you got to be on with this one? I'll tell you right off the bat before you go and choose. You got to be on my side. And my side only. You with me? Now cut your hand and shake, you fucking invalids. Here's Tim Dillon and Whitney Cummings.
They are every single minute of every day. They have an entire infrastructure built around just putting themselves out there. Yeah. And as comics, when we get an idea, we don't always put it out immediately. We refine it, make it good. So like a lot of comics right now are just putting stuff out. And I'm like, oh, this is really bad.
It's making you realize how skilled the YouTubers were.
Yeah.
They can put on makeup.
Like the right episode, Jules. Come on, this is from a million years ago. What the fuck is this? Episode 21. The wrong
moment.
Wrong damn link. She's got brown hair. Tim Dillon is 128 pounds.
Whitney. Here, go
fight.
to this one. Episode 69.
Okay, here you
Excuse
go.
me.
Let's fast forward through time and let's cut to now a year later.
That was a nice little flashback.
Nice little
of how their
flashback.
friendship began.
And you can see Whitney really. Listen, I know Whitney just had COVID that she kept secret from her friends while infecting her peers.
Yes, she was on her show for like a month coughing and sneezing on like 5 different people.
But Whitney has gone through something that almost looks like electroshock therapy. When she looks at you, she does this now. Like Tim Heidecker style faces. And I know the Fighter and the Kid Reddit pointed it out. Gee, how many Fighter and the Kid Redditors does it take to figure out one of my premises?
30,000.
30,000. Takes 30,000 Fighter and the Kid Redditors to get to what I come up with instinctually. All right, and we love the Fighter and the Kid Reddit. They're so cool. I love all Redditors and people who comment and write fan fiction about shows. Listen to this.
Serious people were about what they believed and didn't believe at the time they made trades. So at the end of the day, it's like, this is legal. It's above board. And I'm for it. And that's why I consider myself now a venture capitalist. And I will continue to raise capital.
This bit has gone so dry. Tim Dillon being a rich businessman guy is so over. This would be like if I kept doing 444 or 444. It's time to move on to the next hysterical bit about yourself. This would be like if I was still Joy Joyenstein. You know? Enough. Move the fuck on. You're not rich. You're not responsible. You're declined rental properties. You're banned from Airbnb. You're probably banned from PayPal and Chase for writing bad checks. You're not a business hedge fund guy. And the bits have gone dry.
But after reading everybody's takes about it on Twitter all day, aren't you bored of it?
Aren't you bored of it? So
How
Tim
could you
Dillon
not be?
is going to, and again, it's been the first 11 minutes of the show. He's telling Whitney about hedge funds, but then the fight. And that's what we present to you now. Watch this.
Now a venture capitalist, and I will continue to raise capital and allocate it in the way that I see fit.
Tim, we've been through a lot together in this quarantine.
Yes, it's been wild.
She don't care about that
We trauma
stuff
bonded
either.
in the beginning.
Yes.
And I do want us to address the fact that we got in a fight the other day.
We did because I canceled the podcast.
We got in a real fight.
Ooh. We got in a fight the other day. We did because I canceled the podcast. And he isn't giving her an inch. She kind of submits to him. It's scary. You know, she can't take him on. She was really mad. Her podcast is a professional operation, and he blew it off. Wait till you hear his excuses.
I do want us to address the fact that we got in a fight the other day.
We did because I canceled the podcast.
We got in a real fight.
I canceled the podcast.
I mean,
so go look at Elise.
Yes.
To do a walkthrough.
He was due to
You
come.
better be talking about Elise from the Insidious films. Because I know you weren't invited to check out properties after what you did with them beans in the fish. So his get out of jail free card is that he was going to look at a lease. You know, she lets out later in the show that he's renting. When he moves to Austin, he's renting because he is not awarded the merit of mortgage. He is not trustworthy enough as a human being to get a mortgage, even though he's got millions of dollars.
He's done mortgage crimes.
So when you weren't able to get up at 10 a.m. for Whitney Cummings' podcast, I don't believe you were looking at a lease. I think you think that's what Whitney would allow you to get a pass for. Oh, property hunting? I can relate. I'm a property brother. No. It doesn't matter. You weren't looking at a lease, and she knows it. Look at her face. A lease? You were looking at SpaghettiOs on the bottom of a burnt-out microwave floor. All right? Tim Dillon drops acid and then turns on the microwave with the SpaghettiOs, and all of a sudden that spinning platform turns into like a roller rink, and all of a sudden he's like a fucking Family Guy, character roller skating backwards on the microwave.
Skating with him.
Yeah,
They
the
jump out of the
SpaghettiOs are
can.
coming.
They're doing a little number.
I mean, you are really SpaghettiOs and Franks. It's ridiculous. So let's listen to these lies. Let's watch the fight. And remember, both of them deserve this. Redbar wins again.
The fact that we got in a fight the other day.
We did because I canceled the podcast.
We got in a real fight.
I canceled the podcast.
I mean,
to go look at Elise.
Do a
walkthrough.
He was due to come to the podcast on Sunday.
He was due.
His call time was 10. At 10:15, he texted me and said,
His
I can't.
call time was... Again, they're both crazy, right? We've been making fun of both equally for years. His call time was 10. And what she fails to realize is Tim does a podcast every minute of the day. They're nonsense to him. And that's, by the way, you should be insulted by that. These people who do podcasts, it's meaningless to them. But to Whitney, she only does her show. She doesn't really go on a lot of people's shows. This is important to her. To Tim, a podcast is a nonsense activity. It's like writing a tweet. It's like throwing up an Instagram story. Who cares if you're on time? Well, guess what? Every time you hear these people talk on a podcast, that's what they think. Just fill the fucking time. It's junk. It's shit. Who cares? They'll eat it up. They'll buy the merch, these stupid idiots. But to Whitney, this is an important piece of time.
Can't make it. I have 10 people waiting here.
I didn't realize that. See, that's what I didn't realize.
Right.
And that's what I apologize.
5 people.
And to the staff. I had no idea that the podcast was the filming of a movie. Like,
Ooh, and
I
then
thought
he
it was
insulted.
just a producer and you.
She's gone ahead and she just hired like 5 people to work on her show. It used to be her and Benton. That was it. She's hired all these people. She's really trying to amp it up. She's rebuilding the studio. And he comes in and she keeps insulting her. And again, they're both like almost equally right. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know a podcast was a movie shoot for Quentin Tarantino. And he's right. Whitney's taking it too seriously for something that's so shitty. And he's acting like too much of a slob for what Whitney's putting together. It's a miscommunication of sorts, but they both hand it to each other. And they kind of tell each other what I've been saying for years, which is what I'd like to show you.
Podcast was the filming of a movie. Like, I thought it was just a producer and you.
Do you think I know how to work any of this equipment?
Yeah.
You think what is this?
Yeah, I don't. I'm
not Rick Glassman. What do you think this is?
I'm not Rick, so he's messaged her. Uh-oh. Can we get in touch with Whitney?
Him?
Rick Glassman is abusive towards women. I mean,
I want Whitney to go on Rick Glassman.
Well, we need to let Whitney know. Well, but
pod.
here's the problem with Whitney, and I said it before. She will let a guy bully her into submission. And Rick Glassman could do it, and then she'll be like, oh, I don't know what's going on with podcasting. I'm just going to she falls back all the time. like in a bad way. And Rick Glassman can work his little trickeries on her. We must warn her of Glassman's sneakeries. It's working on everybody. People think Glassman has charm and charisma. It's even working on Marc Maron. Now, Marc Maron, I won't make fun of because of what he went through with his loss, which I actually
now you're kind of wishing
feel terrible about. And Marc Maron, because Marc Maron went through, his wife died. And anyone who's going to make fun of that, this wasn't a fat guy. This wasn't that much of a Trump hater as much as the other guy. But, you cannot make fun of Marc Maron for his wife dying. Imagine Marc Maron, he finally gets married after like 5,700 girlfriends. And he finally gets married, and it's finally all working out. And then she dies, and he has to then get up and do the podcast.
Would you do Redbar if I
No,
died?
Absolutely not. I would definitely just quit.
It would be so cool to be a young dead wife where your husband has to live on.
So I don't think it's cool to make fun of Marc Maron. And Rick Glassman used this is what I'll say. This is what I'm best at. And I don't know if this is true, but imagine if it was, how despicable this would be. Rick Glassman used Marc Maron's loss to sneak in with Marc Maron to get Marc Maron to like him. He came when he knew Marc Maron needed someone the most. He manipulated Maron. Spread this. Woo! Is that an accusation? Hey, but you know what? Marc Maron thinks he likes Rick Glassman. Now, I can't tell Marc Maron he's wrong, but he's wrong. And however Rick snuck his way into your life was a con, and I can guarantee it. So I know he's going to do it to Whitney, and I know he's so good because he studies these people and he knows what they exactly want. Like he did it to Bobby Lee. I believe Rick Glassman snuck his way into Lee, snuck his way into Maron. He's going to sneak his way into Whitney, and he's going to sneak his way onto Rogan. Where he's never going to get Rogan. Rogan will never understand Glassman. Ever.
Never. Are you
Ever.
kidding me? That is way too much to ask of him.
So let's see what happens here.
This is a real production.
I know, but why?
Why?
No, you don't need all these people. And I don't want to take any of their jobs away because they're all working very hard. They're all on their phone and everything. And I know how hard they all work and how essential they all are.
It's called fake business.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is called.
See how good she is. She's
but
so
I didn't realize
used,
that. How did I realize that?
She's so used to fighting and being put down that she could do the fake laugh through it to make sure that it all seems like it's okay. I always say this, whenever a fool is laughing, do not get it twisted. They are in hell. They are in physical pain. I don't show you fools on the screen, hey, everybody, check out this clip of Whitney and her buds having a good time. No. If you're on my screen, you are in limbo. Hitler's trillions. All right, you're spinning and tossing through such a darkness that it can only be described by me. Look at your face. There's no fake laugh in the world that could sell this pain to me in the way you're trying to push it over on my listeners here. I'm like, oh, Mike, they're having a good time. You're off on this one. They're laughing, Mike. Don't you see? No. A comedian's laugh is equal to one of my most painful cuts.
Someone says Whitney is the true Joker.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at that.
Closer to the Joker than any of these wannabe Jokers could ever be. Tony Hinchcliffe, Andrew Schultz.
Yes.
Whitney has out-Jokered you times 10.
The storyboards for the new Joker were literally taken shot for shot from Whitney's Instagram. All they did was collected Whitney Cummings Instagram stories for 1 year, and then they copied the storyboards exactly and drew in Joaquin Phoenix.
Now that is a Joker we could all enjoy.
Yes, she should be the next Joker. I'm ready for a female Jokerdant. All right, we're going to read some super chats here, as long as you've got $5. Let me read one here. This one came in for $5 million. She's as manic as any Joker. Thank you for the cost. of that pay. I'm kidding. We would never do a super chat. And anyone who reads a super chat and takes your money for reading your chat should be locked up. Do not trust that person, even if it's Michael Malice or W.C. Lorths. Listen to this.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is called. But I didn't realize that. Had I realized that, I would have rescheduled. But that walkthrough was like the only time that like we got the tenants out. You could do the walkthrough.
But what happened?
Imagine walking this guy through your house. Sayonara, home. Now, Tim, here is a wall that you'll destroy from falling into over a jealous rage and Percocets. You know, he's got this darkness to him, a darkness that other comedians don't even want to fill me in. They go, Mike, I don't want to, my life's already ruined. I don't want to ruin your sleep. It's that dark.
We are so on the same page all the time. We had like a real fight. Like we both went into our inner child.
I think, I think the only thing I said that was even slightly, was I said, it's not Two Broke Girls, it's a podcast. And you got very angry at that. It was such a light touch of a thing.
See what he said?
And
he goes, Whitney, it ain't Two Broke Girls, it's a podcast. Now, in Whitney's mind, she worked so hard to get that television credit. And here's Tim Dillon, who's never been in anything. In Whitney's eyes, this is an up-and-coming open mic comic that needs her help. But in Tim's eyes, he's the star. And Whitney is this cringe, old-school, boomer TV comic. And it's been a fake relationship all along. Tim wants her for the real Hollywood fame. She wants him for the underground clout. Man, this is a user's dilemma here. A user's/loser's dilemma. When two people use equally, boom, it creates a spark. And this happens.
Viciously, you got very angry.
I lost my temper. It doesn't happen a lot.
And I was just, it was a fun little thing to say.
It was, no, but it wasn't like, because it fascinates me when comedians, because we're so rough with each other,
right,
when you go too far. Like when someone crosses
I didn't know that
the
was
line.
good. There's always going to be this unspoken thing between old Hollywood and young Hollywood. And that's what's happening here.
And I'm old Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well,
listen, you're a legend.
By
classic.
the way, you're not any Hollywood.
You're
young.
There's always going to be an argument between old Hollywood and young Hollywood. And she goes, oh, and I'm old Hollywood. And then she finally gets some balls. She goes, and wait. You're not any Hollywood. Ooh. Now, she can't keep it up because Tim's pretty good. He's pretty good at berating her. You know, he's pretty hard to beat as far as a girl. A girl only has so much power before she starts crying, right? Watch this.
This unspoken thing between old Hollywood and young Hollywood. And that's what's happening here.
And I'm old Hollywood.
Yeah. You're a legend.
By
classic.
the way, you're not any Hollywood.
You're
young internet.
Young Hollywood.
You've never been Hollywood.
But that is Hollywood.
No,
now.
it's young internet.
No, but that is
Hollywood
now.
still exists.
No one
Yes.
cares about your friends like Sandra Bullock. No one cares about them.
I'm just saying.
No one cares about your friends like Sandra Bullock. No one cares about them. And she's going, slow down, E-boy. Slow down, Twitch. Because she's worked so hard. I mean, she's gone through those things, right? As corny as they are, those were like so hard to get into, right?
She worked hard.
So this is an epic battle.
And she's most proud of
the
her
ages.
work ethic.
Yeah.
You're young internet. You've never been Hollywood.
But that is Hollywood.
No,
now.
it's young internet.
No, but that is
Hollywood
now.
still exists.
No one
Yes.
cares about your friends like Sandra Bullock. No one cares about them.
I'm just saying.
No one cares.
The thing where she wore the blindfold in the canoe got 50 million
What
views
was that,
more than
4 years ago?
I'm just saying.
Bird Box?
By the
You're
way-
bringing up Bird Box? The horror movie on Netflix? I mean, this is what you're...
But here's the difference. Here's
What about Perfect Strangers? That was fun, too.
You guys...
I'm 17 years old. I'm a 17...
You're no different than Benton, the other fat slob, the G, who sits there. Yo, what up, G?
Benton has equal hot takes.
Hey, I might be a lot of things. At least I'm not gay. Imagine a person who would say something like that. That's what I try to show people. The absurdity of a moron, a hard-headed asshole who would say so. Imagine if someone said like this, hey, who does he think he is? He's fucking gay. No one is willing to say something like that.
Benjamin would do it.
Well, I'm telling you. And, anyone who thinks that's offensive has got it so right. All right. I don't hate him because he's gay, of course. My dad is gay. I'm gay. Jules is a dyke. And I can say that because she's gay. Everyone I know is gay. They're all doing it all. They're stealing. Here's proof that everyone I know is gay. Everyone I know steals. Everyone I know is evil. Everyone I know is going to hell. So,
therefore,
everyone I know is gay. So
And
how
that
could I
makes
hate
you-
gays when all of my friends are evil gays that are doing the wrong stuff? Tricky there, huh? Try to write an article about this and quote all this and see if it even makes sense. You'll have to go back to the drawing board and write about Armie Hammer. All right, let's hear what Tim and Whitney have to say. Cheers.
2-year-old TikToker. I evolve.
Why do you want to be the future Kevin Spacey? Stop hanging out with these young people, Tim. I am trying to protect you.
Listen,
that's a diz. Okay, there it is. She doesn't like the clout chasing TikTok shit that Tim's Dillon. Tim Dillon is like the James Charles of comedy. He's trying to he panders to the best of them. He thinks Andrew Schultz is great. Go look at Tim Dillon's Twitter. Look who he endorses. Look who he hits like on. This is my problem with him.
He posted an Instagram story saying, thank you, Cody Co.
Thank you,
for the
Cody Co.
mugs."
Let me tell you something. If I would like Tim Dillon if he didn't do all the fucking schemes. Do I ever bring up somebody that ain't doing something horrendously shitty? Why would I have this thing with him? And it couldn't be the opposite with him. He's got nothing but nice things to say about me.
You're funny, you're rich.
He's
you
a
have
cloud
millions
chaser.
of
I got
dollars.
called a cloud chaser today. Me, a cloud chaser. There are still a percentage of the population that thinks it's cloud that we're all saying. And I got an Instagram comment today. You fucking cloud chaser. You'd be nothing without the podcasts that you talk about. I said, yeah? Hide story. You ever not see my story? That's why. Hide story. It's a feature. That way you come to my page, at least you won't know that I have something going on. Okay? It's your punishment. Hide story. That's what you do. You say something stupid to me. You don't get blocked. You don't get doxxed. Oh, yeah? Hide story. You won't know when we go live. We don't need that.
Unless you look at the main
It's a very
feed, of
fair
course.
punishment, by the way. Very fair punishment. Now, here's poor Whitney. I'd like to reach out to Whitney. I see things in people. But it's similar to George Janko. Obviously, I don't like George Janko, but I could save him temporarily while he breaks up with the others and creates,
How about this? Imagine every person who has ever starred on Redbar is in like a sitcom or like a Marvel Universe situation. They're all insane. That's why they're in the movie.
Yeah.
But you got to root for someone.
You got to root for someone.
So
You really do. You
so
got to
that's
root
why
for
you gotta
somebody.
pick Jenko.
You got to pick Janko. You got to pick Whitney. I know it's very tough for people. They can't get over the Whitney thing. They're not on my side with this. There is a redeeming, funny, entertaining person in Whitney. I
For
hate
sure.
to say it. There is. There just is. Why would I say that? What would be the reasoning?
It's in there somewhere.
And Tim Dillon thinks he's above her now. She's worked so hard. She's gotten so little. She really has nothing to be proud of. Her best friends are people she don't even like. Isn't that sad where your best friends are people that don't even thrill you? That's where she's at. Annie Lederman. In Whitney's mind, she deserved a higher level of friends. Esther Pazitsky. This is her friend. Tim Dillon. These scraps. She should be up there with Chris Rock, right? She should be with Adam Sandler. That's how she thinks. And she's left with these scrubs. So let's watch the rest of this fight. I mean, it's funny to me. I like this stuff.
Cancellation.
I understand you want this to be a Sunset Boulevard where you're at the top of a stairwell and you're like, with one look.
And listen, he's right too. But he's just as bad. You know, he's going to sit there and make fun of mainstream Hollywood. And he's trying to get in with the most mainstream guys possible. You know, Cody Ko might as well be ABC. Logan Paul might as well be CBS. You know, Joe Rogan might as well be, Sports Center. So you're not really an underground guy. You know who's underground? This Redbar. Pretty underground. Okay, Redbar does the things that no person with any money would be associated with. You know, and Tim Dillon doesn't. You think he's like because he's the edgiest one of the sellouts is why you think he's cool. In contrast to the rest of the fucking mainstream clowns, he comes off as the bad boy. No. He's one of them. He endorsed Andrew K. Schultz. He endorsed Cody K. Ko. He endorsed Big Mike and Logan. He doesn't tell you that it's bullshit. He's playing all of you. He wants the QAnon people to think he's cool and Logan Paul's girl fans to think he's cool. He wants it all because he wants money and cushioning. And cushioning is expensive when it comes to the cloud couch, when it comes to the finer things that he craves. You know, Airbnbs that run $4,000 a night aren't even good enough for him. He needs you know the amount of fucking luxury sofaing he needs to actually relax. You know, he's chasing sofa like Requiem for a Dream style. You're never going to find a hit as good as that first one, bro. He is looking for a sofa that doesn't exist. He wants such cushioning and such pleasure. It can only come with a heroin death. It ain't coming from any rental, Mr. Luxury. You went down the wrong path. All of you went down the wrong path. You know, it really is a shame. It really is a shame. There's not one person any of us could look up to. You have possibly what it takes to be somebody that people could actually be inspired by, and you throw it away with this piggery, this nonsense, the fear, the homosexuality. I'm kidding. I always throw that in to be incredibly insensitive. But I mean, really, you're dropping to your knees and sucking a
dick.
And I
used to be like, wow, it's
what
crazy that Tim Dillon is gay. But now I'm like, actually, he's kind of like the ultimate gay queen guy. Like, imagine him in his polo
on Bravo
with shorts and like a little thin leather belt, and the shirt is tucked into his shorts, and he's getting out of a tiny car.
Yes.
And then he's yelling at
He's
someone.
like that guy on Modern Family that comes along who worked with on Broadway with the fucking
Mitch and Cam's friend.
Mitch and Cam's friend.
What's that guy's name?
What's that guy's name? He's always on Broadway. He's hanging out with Ferris Bueller's Day Off all the time. What's that fucking fag's name? That's like what you are. You're like the bitchy guy with sunglasses and the fucking little tiny convertible running around to LA, being a fucking bitch. Everybody hates you.
And I love that.
And you're a slob.
But if you would lean into that, I would love you more. But you let Logan Paul get to you because of the cloud.
It's piggery, they're saying. Yeah, you're the dancing queer. No, you're not you're not even queer. I think he sucks dick just because he wants it all. He'd suck pussy, but he's so monstrous. They don't want it. So he sucks the dick. I can't believe it.
He wants the finer,
you can't tell it like it.
Things.
He wants just it all. Can't. I can't see it. You know, like there's a ton of gay guys in my world. Rylan Adams, Shane Dawson, None of them is aggressive as Tim Dillon. I've never met a gay guy this based, and it doesn't work. There's something off. A gay guy can't be this based. And people forget he's gay. If you forget a guy's gay, maybe he's not gay. If you can forget a guy is gay all the time and you need to be reminded, well, maybe something else is going on. Could it just be delusion and psychoticism? I don't know.
They're saying dick is more filling than pussy. The only reason he's gay.
Yeah, right. Let me tell you something. If I just can't imagine this guy whipping off a few stinger roasteroo jokes and then dropping to the floor and doing that little badoom and then globbing on
hold on, I'll show you the move.
Let me show you what Tim Dillon is actually doing late at night. And it just doesn't add up. Either he's not gay, like I could even imagine Milo being sensual with a guy. I just don't know what's going on here. He's faking, gaking, da-pa-pa-pa-da-da. Let's see what happens here. Jules is going to send me an example. Here's what Tim Dillon does to guys. And who are these guys?
Talk for the Busset Challenge,
Look
and the
at it.
reactions have been priceless. Jordan
Busset.
looking like a true natural beauty.
Here's Tim Dillon.
reveals
Watch.
the
Imagine this
challenge
is
with
Tim Dillon
passion.
jumping down
Fully.
to suck a
And I
dick.
think her boo, Carl Anthony
Watch
Towns,
this.
would totally agree. I'm
Here's
sure
Tim
after
Dillon.
seeing
Boom!
his lady go from wearing an
Boom!
oversized black sweater to a
Imagine
sexy
Tim Dillon dropping to his knees, doing a couple of bounces, and then and then the Beach Boys harmonicas come in. You know, it's a twisted world. I don't know. And I'm not even hung up on this. But something in me is saying, Mike, explore his gay aspects. Mike, dig in there.
Well,
There's
you
something
only are
telling
thinking
me.
that because it seems like he keeps that side of him under wraps, if you know what I mean. If it was someone who was always talking about their gayness, you'd be like, enough with the gay stuff. But since it's so
He's not
secretive-
athletic enough to be gay, they're saying. It's just strange, and it's not. I'm not saying this in an anti-gay way. I can't. You're making out, sucking it all, fucking up the. I don't know what he's doing. It's all seems off. It's not anti-gay. It's bewilderment amongst his peers. Let me play you the rest.
Sunset Boulevard, where you're at the top of a stairwell and you're like, with one look, I'll do a multicam. I understand that. We will have.
He's been doing this. A lot of comics do this singing thing that actually has no melody. See, when I sing like a little tune, I give you a wrapped up piece, a number. This thing's got a chorus, a verse, some thought out bridges. I don't like when the comics do the singing thing, but it's not a song. It just, I am Tim Dillon. I find that to be very sloppy.
Make it a hit.
Make it a little pop song. I wrap up a little song to you and I throw it to you in a phantasm pop ball. It's easily digestible by the masses. These people, they get all the laughs.
Sunset Boulevard, where you're at the top of a stairwell and you're like, with one look, I'll do a multicam. I understand that. We will have Taylor Tomlinson getting in.
So many people have done that British singing thing that leads to no, real. Oh my God, look at that too.
That's a fight laugh.
This is like when you haven't seen your aunt in 35 years and you go visit her imagining that she's going to be like what you remembered 35 years ago. And then this answers the door and it's floating and it's at the X-Man mansion and everybody is trying to figure out their gifts. AKA, you're at a mutant house. I mean, that's a fucking mutant. This is Professor Xavier's friend, Beast. You remember Beast from X-Men? Pull up Beast.
Of course.
Pull up Beast. because a lot of people go, oh, here's Nightcrawler. Oh, here's who's that girl? You know, you jacked off to her in X-Men, the teen version. Jennifer Lawrence. Mystique got completely naked.
You jacked off to her in the teen version?
I didn't. I jacked off to her open anus. Leaks only. I love Jennifer Lawrence spread anus. Here is Beast from X-Men, which nobody, they don't want to. There's Whitney. And there's Mystique. A lot of people go Mystique or your this is terrible. I hate Googling. You're seeing like X-Men has been redrawn too many times. You can never really lock it down. Remember Beast. Everybody remembers Beast. Very smart.
He was a sweet guy.
And it is unfair to compare her to Beast. I mean, she's a mix of basically every X-Men combined.
Click the guy in the chat, scroll up, the guy who said she looks like the mermaids from Harry Potter.
Let's see this. I've never seen Harry Potter, so here we go. This is, it does kind of very similar. Very, very similar. The fighter and the kid Reddit just put this together now. And believe me, they're going to also write love letters to her. All right, let's see what they do in their beef.
On little skirmishes with people at a restaurant.
The reason
there will be laughter we pump in. The people watching this show's brains have been broken.
The reason I need you to come early is because we shoot this on film.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful. And I respect that. We all know that you put a lot into everything you do. And I respect that.
I try too hard with the podcast,
But you put a lot into it, and that's
too
okay.
Much.
That's okay.
I overthink it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't even know if I'm good at podcasting. That's the other thing.
I think you are, but it's a very different thing. Like you have celebrities on and you prepare and you do all this stuff, and I respect that. But it's like what we do. It's just a little different.
Because I'm insecure,
It's
Tim.
amazing.
I don't have the white man thing of I'm just like, who wouldn't want to hear me talk for 3 hours
this is
about
misplaced.
anything? Like I don't. I'm not allowed to be boring. I have to be twice as good to get half as much respect.
Okay.
Now,
you disagree?
I gotta say,
swing
all of the shitting that Whitney gets is from her fellow stuck-up female fans who,
yes.
I listen to like every episode of Whitney's podcast, and Benton, her co-host, is always
The Benton interruption.
Yes, he's always like, Whitney, everybody's saying don't interrupt your guests as much. Whitney, and is always giving her all these strict rules.
It's crazy
but
what
Whitney's
these people go through.
crazy interruptions are what makes her podcast more crazy and interesting.
And I'm looking at Tim. He's wearing a Carhartt hat and a polo shirt. If he went on a horse, smash that motherfucker to the ground. The horse, its legs would collapse. Can't do polo. I look at Carhartt. I go, this guy don't own a car, and he doesn't have a fucking heart. His whole outfit is a lie.
He's never even soaked a horse.
No. All right, so they're going to fight a little bit more. Do we have any more time? They're going to talk about Austin.
Yeah, go to 24 minutes.
Tim is moving to Austin. Again, this is going to be the biggest mistake anyone's ever made. Or over my dead body. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be the biggest mistake they all made. Or
you kill yourself.
Or I make it their biggest mistake. You hear me? I will not let this Austin thing end well. No matter what I got to do. Now, listen to this.
Comedian, if you're not playing yourself, you're not going to be able to move tickets. It's like Billy Gardell played a character in that Mike and Molly show. He should have played Billy Gardell. You'd have to play Tim Dillon.
Right. Yeah, and listen, I think maybe in a few years, I'm not against that. I save some money. We make another run at development. But like at the moment, I don't see the reason for it. That's why I'm getting out of LA because
going to Austin.
I'm going to Austin,
Tell
Texas.
me about it. Well, how did this? You made this decision without me.
Ooh, she don't like this Austin. You know why? Again, she worked. She did everything she needed to do to get in this position. The minute she gets in this position, boom, they like Austin now. Are you kidding me? I just bought the biggest house the Hills has. I just got all this NBC stuff. And now Austin's the thing. Well, I ain't going to no Austin. So she fucking hates this Austin shit. And I'm telling you, she's right. LA is a million times better than Austin. The reason they don't want to live there is because they don't want to pay. And they're moving to this mosquito. I cannot wait till summer hits and these comedians go through a depression that is so thick, you'll go, oh, they must have, what's the mosquito virus? The Nile virus. The West Nile. Do they have West Nile? You know, they left LA because of Corona. They moved to Austin, and they're going to end up with West Nile. Trust me. Because it is so humid in the summer, and these people, you know, these are people complaining about LA. Imagine complaining about LA, how fucking fucked up you'd have to be. It literally is, geographically, the perfect place to live. They can't handle it there. They're so defective that they moved to the most perfect, most expensive place on the planet, and they can't do it there. They hate it, right? And you go, oh, everyone from LA says they hate LA. You know why? Because they'd hate it anywhere. They'd hate heaven, all right? Now they're moving to Austin. They couldn't survive in paradise, Los Angeles. Now they're moving to Austin. Wait till summer hits. You know, every one of these fucking deserts is nice in the winter. Wait till the summer comes. At least it's a dry heat here. Wait till those mosquitoes start going into his ears and telling him some tales. Ooh, boy, he ain't ready for. You guys are going to be so eaten up by mosquitoes that you're going to come running back to me. And you know what? My doors are locked. And there's, what do they call that? 1 star on call. I press one button in the police storm. Listen to this.
Out of LA because
going to Austin.
I'm going to Austin,
Tell
Texas.
me about it. Well, how did this? You made this decision without me.
Well, I made it in a 24-hour span of time because I called some very smart people, and a lot of them are out. And a lot of them are going, and they're all primarily internet people. And they're all going, we don't need to be here. The response to Elon Musk leaving the state can't be fuck Elon Musk, which is what
Is
Gavin
Elon
Newsom,
going to...
Correct.
Okay.
Gavin Newsom and the government here is basically like, yeah, fuck him. So if you're going to say fuck him, you're going to say fuck me. You're going to say fuck everybody. And the problem with that is it costs an exorbitant amount of money to live here.
Yeah.
The climate for entrepreneurs is horrible. The climate for people to live is getting worse every year. And you're spending a lot of money.
Angelina Jolie is going, finally, I could extend my property that all these losers are out of here. You know, the real celebrities ain't leaving. It's all you fucking beginner celebrities that think you're better than everyone else. And this just goes to show you jump the shark here with this e-celebrity bullshit. You've got 500,000 followers. You're not quite Dikembe Mutombo. Okay?
The chat says this is Tati versus James Charles
Yes.
part 2.
Yes, Tati versus James Charles. Perfect. Which one's Westbrook in this situation? Tim, I think. Tim is the Westbrook.
Wow.
Well, and they're both the Westbrook and they're both the Charles.
money. And traditional Hollywood is not the bread and butter of anyone I know anymore.
I think we can all agree that my
you got to skip to
health-
33 past all of her ads. 10 minutes of ads.
10 minutes of ads. Yikes.
These guys have been doing like an insane amount of ads lately, I gotta say. Whose podcast were we
And that's
listening
another
to?
thing about Tim Dillon. It's like, oh, he's so cool and down to the earth. He does the worst ads
I think
imaginable.
both Tim and Whitney's podcast this week had like more ads than ever before. Because I remember watching them both and being like, what's wrong with you
The
guys?
ads have tripled on these podcasts, and nobody is. As long as you don't say anything, they're going to keep multiplying the ads until they only do full infomercial broadcasts.
I watch ABC's
Which is what Rogan's show almost
The
did.
Bachelor, and these guys' commercials come on more frequently than ABC's The
Yes.
Bachelor.
If you watch
seems.
The Bachelor, it's toned down. You go, ooh, this is pretty street. You watch this, it's like watching The Bachelor. All right, let's see what else these two pieces of shit have gotten themselves into this time.
like are morons. Some of them, they like don't understand anything that goes on outside
Andrew
of an 8 mile
Schultz can hardly
radius.
drive.
Yeah,
when Andrew comes out here, he can't like figure out how to function.
Oh, he can't drive? He could sure drive his fist into a woman's fucking face. That's alleged. That's alleged. I doubt he's ever done that.
That's alleged from Mike's mind.
It's alleged from a dream.
Hey, if
Your
you're
Honor.
just saying that, if you're saying someone did a crime and it's an alleged crime,
Yeah.
can you say they did anything allegedly?
I got one. Here, I'm being sued for slander. You're the judge. Tell me, Mr. David, you're being sued for slander. What
Mr.
is?
David, you're being sued for slander. What is?
Your Honor, this is a simple misunderstanding. I was simply using my imagination, which was told that I could use by my teachers in all the grades. Certainly, you're not going to kick a man using his imagination. Oh, imagination? Oh. Case dismissed. This is ridiculous. Andrew Schultz, let's lock him up. You know, come on. Is it slander or my imagination? Can't a kid have an imagination anymore?
You probably could get out of it by
Yeah.
saying that.
Your Honor, I was just using my imagination, which was encouraged to me all preschool through 12th grade.
Have you watched any 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s cartoon?
Imagination, kids, trust your imagination. Sell it all. Go with imagination. Ditch your parents.
Whatever you imagine, you can make real.
Yes, this is what they told me. I remember a teacher telling me, whatever your parents tell you, look at them and pretend that you're listening and then use your imagination and do whatever you want. Take their money, use your imagination with their credit cards. And I said, I don't know, teacher. This sounds like fraud.
Someone
They
in
said,
the chat
no.
says, if you arrest Mike, you must kill all kids also.
Yeah, how about this? And the
People
listeners
are
are behind me,
using their
right? If I get
imaginations.
arrested, you're going to have to arrest us all, right? All 2,000 of us.
They all agreed to it, right, guys?
They agreed to it. All right, let's hear this fight.
New York, man,
But here's what I will
it's
say.
a small bubble. It's the greatest city in the world, but it's like, guys, enough.
I just am worried. As someone that is, my mother's from Texas, a place called Sherman, Texas, near Fort Worth. I've spent a lot of time in Texas.
Yes.
And I've spent a lot of time with you. And
Right. I understand that. I don't
As someone
wanna-
that grew up in New York,
yeah.
it's gonna be a
But I'll be
sobering
I'm
experience
gonna be in New
for
York.
you.
I'm going to be in LA. I'm going to travel.
I know, but you in Austin you're gonna be hot. You're gonna be sunburned. You're gonna be grumpy. You're gonna be
I'm going to be that here.
annoyed.
I'm going to be miserable here.
Okay.
No. See, you could be miserable in LA, but at least the weather and everything is perfect. Now you're going to be miserable with all your internal problems in this swamp with no people. I'm telling you, this is the worst decision they've ever made. And it's all to follow Joe Rogan. And here's why it's so dumb. Joe Rogan, they think is going to like be there for them. He doesn't have what it takes to actually be a leader. He's an accidental leader with the $100 million. They're following this man that they think is like Dave Portnoy level. Dave Portnoy could lead a company into a championship. Joe Rogan has never led anyone anywhere. It's all been luck, and they're following a rainbow. They're following a rainbow to a pot of gold that doesn't exist.
I'm going to be miserable wherever I live.
I mean,
that's part of the deal.
wherever you
I
go,
I'm gonna
there
be
you
miserable.
are.
I'm just going to save money. And like, listen, I'm going to be able to get on a plane, go to New York, get on
Yes.
a plane, go to LA.
Okay.
Get on a plane, hopefully go to London, wherever
Not once
wanna
I put you on the no-fly list for being associated with Gavin. I'm kidding. I would never do that. I think the no-fly list is a punishment that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemies, except for flies and mosquitoes. I want them on the no-fly list. Let's see a mosquito try to bite me on foot. Let's see a fly try to annoy me on foot. I'll fucking cream him. Thanks. And Sam Morril is the comic of the year. You know how easy this shit is?
But you know that Austin, it's still in Texas.
Yeah.
You
but I
are
don't
aware
really-
of that. You know that, I mean, as a man who will only eat with like gilded forks and
Yeah.
you know you'll be eating out of food
What's
trucks.
gilded mean?
Golden.
Golden?
Yeah.
Gilded means golden?
Yeah.
I only eat with golden forks, though.
We do have 2 golden forks.
I love my golden forks.
So you're no different than
I am different than him. So that doesn't make any sense.
Huh?
My gums are so sore.
What? What are you talking about?
I like have a cut on the bottom of my
your
gums.
inside gum cut? Ooh, that makes me cringe when you talk about it.
And it's just going to really interrupt my singing.
No.
In Austin.
Coming up.
The rich are there.
Baby, that's Dallas. You should be I think
you have a point. But
you should be in Dallas.
I will say
you're going to Austin. I'm going to
40 minutes out of Austin by a lake.
You're
I'm not
going
even
to a
going
place
near
that is like tries to be poor on purpose because it's hip.
But I'm not going to go near Austin. I'm going to be I'm in the woods. I'm in the woods.
Okay.
I'm like, get on
this
a car.
This doesn't feel mentally healthy. You
drive
alone in
40
the woods
minutes.
is not a good thing. You alone with your own thoughts.
I'm not saying the FBI won't be keeping tabs.
Look, see, Whitney is frustrated with this shit. She's in a hard place here. She knows this is all so stupid. Who would have thought Whitney C. Blowjob is the only adult in the room left?
I don't think this is good. I don't like this. You do need to be around people. When you're left to your own devices with someone that you pay people. Enabling you, I'm worried.
I will be. Should I pay 10 to enable? That's the problem. I don't pay 25 people to enable me. I think it's a great move. I think it's going to be the move for comedy. I
agree.
Yeah,
trust me.
I really believe that.
I will be there.
I got to show you what Joe Rogan said about Austin. This Austin stuff makes me so physically sick. You know, let me play you this clip from the end of Kill Tony. Kill Tony thought they were going to have a renaissance, bring Joe Rogan back, and everything was going to be fine. No, sorry. Doesn't fool me. Wait till you hear what Joe Rogan screams drunkenly at the end of Kill Tony about this Austin. And I can't wait till they just federally regulate all the states and make them go through everything that I really want that, you know? So that they all moved there for no reason.
The coolest things about this show is you get to watch Ryan J. Ebell get better every week.
Listen to this.
Stronger and faster. It's incredible. All those prints are available at RyanJEbell.com. I think he even threw a gorilla in there for you, Joe. RyanJEbell.com for all those prints and the new Kill Tony coloring book. We have some fun things going up. Anything you want to say, Joe?
Thank you. Austin, Texas, you people are the shit. Love being here. We're very happy. We are literally trying to get every fucking comedian in the country to move here. We're going to make this place the hub. We got big...
Is that even legal? Wow. Is this legal? Listen to the ramblings of this drunken warlock. I mean, not since the movie Willow have I seen somebody so aggressive and so small.
This is like my group chat with my friends from Canada where once a week we go, oh my God, as soon as this pandemic is over, we're all going to meet up and we're going to have the best time ever. Oh my God, remember all the old songs?
Joe, you are 59 years old with 15 kids and 8 wives. Why do you want all your friends? Imagine your dad wanting to party with his friends all the time. What does he live in a houseboat? I mean, it's really repulsive. Listen to this.
In the country to move here. We're going to make this place the hub. We got big plans. Big plans, Austin, Texas. Big plans. We love you. Thank you.
Little Man, Big Plans, a new show coming to Bravo about this fucking rock boulder taxi driver person. I mean, it really is ridiculous. And they soar above him in the same seats.